So welcome to this video series on aptitude presented by Mentors4ias in association with Bangalore IAS Academy and NammaKPSC. So in this particular video as well, we will continue with our discussion on problems based on averages. So with this particular session, I'm hoping that any kind of problem that you get based on averages, you should be able to solve, because I've mentioned earlier averages is such a concept which can be included in other concepts as well. We've already discussed problems on averages based on time, speed and distance. We did that when we solved problems on time, speed and distance. We've also done problems based on averages in ages. So that was in the beginning of this lecture series where we had solved problems on ages. Over there also I did solve some problems, if I remember correctly, based on averages. However, this will be our last video based on averages. Okay, so the first question says the average score of a cricketer for 10 matches is 38.9 runs. If the average for the first 6 matches is 42, then find the average for the last 4 matches. Okay. So here we have the average score of a cricketer for 10 matches, that is 38.9 runs. So let me say that let R be the runs, the total runs. Let R be the total runs scored by the cricketer in 10 matches. In 10 matches. Let R be the total number of runs be scored by the cricketer in 10 matches. If that is the case, then what is the average of the cricketer per match? This is nothing but R by 10, where the question already mentions that the average score of the cricketer for 10 matches is 38.9 runs. Therefore, R by 10 is equal to 38.9. R by 10 is equal to 38.9. Now the question further says, if the average for the first 6 matches is 42, then find the average for the last 4 matches. So now the question is saying the average for the first 6 matches, that is the average from the first match to the 6th match, is equal to 42. What is the average from the what is the average of the last 4 matches, that is from the 7th match till the 10th match, 7, 8, 9 and 10. What is the average of the last 4 matches? So if the question is saying that the average of the first 6 matches is 42, then can I say when we divide the total runs scored in the first to 6th match, that is when we divide the total runs scored in the first 6 matches by 6, that is when we get 42. That is when we get 42. Similarly, if we want the average of the last 4 matches, what are we supposed to do? We have to divide the total runs scored in the last 4 matches, that is from match 7 to match 10, divided by 4, that is when we will get the average of the last 4 matches. Therefore, we have to find out A. Now, considering this, can I say that total runs, that is R, is equal to the runs scored in the first 6 matches plus the runs scored in the last 4 matches? Yes. So runs scored from match 1 to match 6 plus the runs scored from match 7 to match 10 is equal to the total runs. Now, what is R? R is nothing but 38.9 into 10. R from this particular equation over here, what is R? From this particular relation over here, what is R? R is nothing but 38.9 into 10, it is 389. 389 is equal to the runs scored in the first 6 matches. What is the run scored in the first 6 matches? That is nothing but from this relation over here, 42 into 6. 42 into 6 plus the run scored in the last 4 matches, that is match 7 to match 10. What is this? This is nothing but 4 into its average, that is 4A. What is the question asking for? The average for last 4 matches. So here we have a linear equation over here with one unknown variable. Therefore, we should be able to determine the value of A. We should be able to determine the value of A. Therefore, 4A is what? I will take this to the other side over here. It is 389 minus 6 2s are 12, 6 4s are 24, 252. Therefore, 4A is equal to 9 minus 2 is 7, 8 minus 5 is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1. Therefore, average is what? Nothing but 137 by 4. 137 by 4. So, if you look at the options, it is necessary for me to divide 137 by 4. 4 3s are 12, 1 7, 4 4s are 16, 1. So, see here, now it is not necessary for me to go any further. I get 34 and the only option with 34 is option C. Therefore, the correct answer has to be 34.25. However, let me just complete this. So, the remainder is 1. So, here we bring about the decimal point. So, this becomes 10, 4 2s are 8, remainder is 2, 0, 5s are 20. Of course, it is 34.25. But it is not necessary for us to wait until we get the remainder as 0, because from the options we should be able to determine it has to be 34.25. Therefore, the correct option is option C. The average for the last 4 matches is 34.25. Now, next question, question number 2. Now, the second question says, the average monthly salary of 20 employees in an organization is 1,500. If the manager's salary is added, then the average salary increases by rupees 100. What is the manager's monthly salary? So we have to determine the salary per month, monthly salary of the manager. So here from question number 2, from the question, let me say, let S be the total salary. Let S be the total salary of all the 20 employees. Let S be the total salary of all the 20 employees. Then, if I divide the total salary of all the 20 employees, that is S, by 20, that is the total number of employees, then I should get the average salary of every single employee. Where the question has already mentioned that the average monthly salary of the 20 employees is nothing but 1,500. Therefore, I should be able to determine the total salary, that is nothing but S is equal to 20 into 1,500. 20 into 1,500. Now the question further says, if the manager's salary is added to the total salary, then the average salary increases by 100. So what is the question saying now? If to the total salary, I add the manager's salary, let me say that M is the manager's salary, then the average, now I have to divide by 20 plus 1. Why? Because we are including the manager. So it is 20 plus 1. Then the average salary will increase by 100. Therefore, it is 1,600. So I have to determine the value of M. S, I can substitute S as what? 1500 into 20. So 15 2s are, S is what? 1500 into 20. 15 2s are 30 and 3 zeros, it is 30,000. So substituting S as 30,000 over here, what do we get? We get 30,000 plus M divided by 21 is equal to 1600. Therefore, 30,000 plus m is equal to, I'm going to multiply 16 and 21. So what do we get here? 0 and 0. 16 ones are 16, so 6 here. 16 twos are 32. 32 plus 1 is 33. When I multiply 21 into 1600, I get 33,600. Therefore, what is the manager's salary? It is nothing but 33,600 minus 30,000, which is equal to 3,600. Therefore, the correct option is option C. The correct answer is rupees 3,600. That is the manager's monthly salary. Rupees 3,600. Question number 3. Now, question number 3 says, in an examination, a pupil's average marks were 63 per paper. In an examination, a pupil's average marks were 63 marks per paper. Now, if he had obtained 20 more marks on his geography paper and 2 more marks on his history paper, his average per paper would have been 65. So how many papers were there in the examination? How many papers were there in the examination? So we have to find out the number of papers that he has written in his examination. So let n be the number, let n be the number of papers. Let n be the number of papers that were there in the examination. Now, the question itself says the pupil's average marks were 63. Now, how do we get the average marks per paper? This is nothing but total marks in all the papers, divided by the total number of papers. When we divide total marks by the total number of papers, that is when we get the average marks per paper, which is 63 as mentioned by the question itself. Now the question further says, if he had obtained 20 more marks in geography and 2 more marks on his history paper, his average per paper would have been 65. See, now the question is purposely mentioning geography paper, history paper, 20 in geography, 2 in history, only to confuse you. It does not matter if it is geography, history, maths, English. We don't need what are the subjects. We only want how many subjects. So it does not matter how much extra does he score in each subject. We only want the total extra marks that he scores. So if the average per paper has to increase to 65, then the total marks have to increase by how many marks? 20 and 2. It could be 20 marks in history and 2 marks in geography. It does not matter for us. Okay. What do we want? We only want the total increase. Total increase is how much? Total increase is 22 marks. 20 plus 2. So if the average has to be 65, then I'm going to represent total marks as T. I'm going to represent total marks as T. Okay, so here we know that T by N is equal to 63. So in the second case, if the total marks increases by 22, then if we divide this by N, that is total number of subjects, what do we get? We'll get average as 65. We'll get average as 65. What do we need to find out? N. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute T. I'm going to take T as 63 N, 63 times N from this relation over here. I'm going to substitute T as 63 N in this relation. So what do we get? We get 63 N plus 22 is equal to, I'm going to take N to the right hand side. We get 65 N. Therefore, taking now taking 63 N to the other side, what do we get? We get 22 is equal to 65 N minus 63 N. Therefore 22 is equal to 2N, or N is nothing but 22 by 2, which is equal to 11. Therefore the number of subjects in the examination is how much? How many? 11 subjects. Correct option? Option D. It is option D. Now moving on to the fourth question. So I hope as of now, by now you have a proper understanding of the concept of averages. So what is important is that you should be able to determine the relationship. You should be able to determine the relationship. As long as you're able to determine the relationship, you should be able to solve all the problems easily. So now let us move on to the fourth question over here. Now, the fourth question says the average age of students in a class is 15.8 years. The average age of the boys in the class is 16.4 years. And that of the girls, that is average age of the girls, is 15.4 years. So what is the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in the class? So if you not understood the question, please pause the video and read the question once again. So now we'll start solving the question. So here it is saying the average age of students of a class is 15.8 years. So I am going to say let T be the total age. Let T be the total age. Let T be the total sum of the age of all students. Okay, so it is the total sum of age of all students in the class. Let T be the total sum of age of all students in the class. Now, I'm going to say let B, capital B, be the number of boys in the class, and let G be the number of girls in the class. So what are the total number of students in the class? Total number of students will be B plus G. Total number of students in the class will be B plus G. So going back to the question, if the question says the average age of students of a class is 15.8 years, then what does this mean? When we divide the total sum of the age of all students, that is T, by the total number of students, which is B plus G, we get what? We get 15.8. We get 15.8. Similarly, the average age of boys in the class is 16.4 years. How do we get the average age of the boys? We have to take the total age of all the boys, the sum of all the ages, the sum of ages of all the boys in the class. So let me say TB. TB is the total sum of the ages of all the boys in the class. When I divide this by the total number of boys, we get what? We get 16.4. Similarly, the average age of the girls, what is that? The total age of the sum of the sum of the ages of all the girls divided by the number of girls. It will give us how much? It will give us 15.4. It will give us 15.4. What does the question want us to find? The question wants us to find the ratio, that is B by G. B is to G. So I hope this is clear. Now, looking at these three relations, what is T? T is the sum of ages of all students, meaning it is the sum of the ages of all the boys. T is nothing but the sum of the ages of all the boys. What is the sum of the ages of all the boys? TB. And the sum of the ages of all the girls, what is that? That is TG. So in this relation over here, I am going to write T as TB plus TG divided by B plus G is equal to 15.8. Now what I will do is I will substitute TB and TG. I will substitute TB as what? I will substitute TB as 16.4B. I'm going to take B to the right hand side, and I'm going to substitute TG as 15.4G. I'm going to take G to the right hand side. So now substituting TB and TG over here, what do we get? We get 16.4B plus 15.4G divided by B plus G is equal to 15.8. So now taking B plus G to the right hand side over here, what do we get? We get 16.4B plus 15.4G is equal to 15.8B plus 15.8G. Now what will I do? I will take 15.8b to the left hand side and 15.4g to the right hand side. So what am I left with now? I'm left with 16.4b minus 15.8b is equal to 15.8b minus 15.4g. So 16.4 minus 15.8 is what? This is nothing but 0.6b equal to 15.8 minus 15.4 is what? 0.4g. 0.4g. This is 0.4g. I'm going to write this over here at the top. So what do we have? We have 0.6b is equal to 0.4g, or 6b is equal to 4g. Or what can I write this as? I can write this as b by g is equal to 4 by 6. I'm going to take 6 here. I'm going to take g here. B by is equal to 4 by 6, or it is equal to 2 by 3. Therefore, the ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys in the class is what? It is 2:3. The correct option is option B. It is option B. So I hope this is clear now. The correct answer is 2:3. Next question, question number 5. Now, question number 5 says, in a school with 600 students, the average age of the boys is 12 years and that of the girls is 11 years. So, if the average age of the school itself is 11 years 9 months, then the number of girls in the school is what? So we have to determine the number of girls in the school. So similar to the previous problem, okay, we will take the same annotations in this particular problem as well. So what we are going to do is, see, the question is saying the total number of students, the total number of students is equal to 600. The total number of students is equal to 600. Okay. Now, the average age of boys is 12 years and that of girls is 11 years. So what I am going to say is, let the number of boys be B. Let the number of girls be G, where TB is what? The total sum of the age of all the boys. The total sum of the age of all the boys. Similarly, what is TG? Let TG be the total age, the total sum of the age of all the girls in the class. Then, if the question says the average age of boys is 12 years, what does this mean? When we divide the total sum of the age of all the boys by the total number of boys, we get 12. Similarly, if the question says the average age of the girls is 11 years, this is when we divide the total sum of the age of all the girls by the number of girls, we get 11. We get 11. Similarly, the question is also saying if the average age of the school is 11 years 9 months, then what is the number of girls? How do we get the average age of the school? Average age of the school is nothing but the total sum of all the ages of all the boys and school, that is T, divided by the total number of students. What is the total number of students? The total number of students is nothing but the number of boys plus number of girls. So this T is nothing but TB plus TG divided by total number of students is nothing but 600, which is also equal to B plus G, which is also equal to B plus G. Now this is equal to 11 years and 9 months. Now how can we represent 9 months? See, 12 months is 1 year. Therefore 9 months is how many years? Nothing but 9 by 12 or 3 by 4. So I am going to say it is equal to 11 years plus 3 by 4 years. 11 plus 3 by 4 years. So these are the relations that we have. These are the relations that we have over here. So now what I will do is I will substitute TB as 12B and I will substitute TG as 11G in this relation. Okay, so we have 12B plus 11G divided by, what is B plus G? B plus G is nothing but the total number of students. What is total number of students? Total number of students is nothing but 600. So we now have 600 is equal to 11 plus 3 by 4. 11 plus 3 by 4. Now we want what? We want the total number of girls. I don't want to find out the total number of boys. I know that B plus G is what? 600. Therefore, what will I do? I will substitute B as 600 minus G. I will substitute B as 600 minus G over here. So what do we get? We get 12 into 600 minus G plus 11G divided by 600 is equal to 4 11s are 44. 44 plus 3 is 47. 47 by 4. We get 47 by 4 over here. So I'm going to take this over here. Okay, so sorry, I'm going to write this below this line. So opening the bracket, we have 12 into 600 minus 12G plus 11G is equal to 600 into 47 by 4. 600 into 47 by 4. So 12 into 600, 11G minus 12G is minus G is equal to 600 into 47 by 4. I will take G to the other side and I'll bring this to the left hand side. What do we get? We get 12 into 600 minus 600 into 47 by 4 is equal to G. I take 600 common out. I have 12 minus 47 by 4 is equal to G. 12 4s are 48. So it is 600 by 4 into 48 minus 47 is equal to G. So what is G? G is nothing but 600 by 4. So if it is 600 by 4, it is 6 into 100 by 4. So I can write it as 100 by 4 is nothing but 25. So this is nothing but 6 into 25. 6 25s are 25 4s are 100. 25 6 is 150. Therefore, the number of girls is what? Number of girls is nothing but 150. Therefore, the correct option is option A. The number of girls in the school is 150. It is 150. So, I hope you've understood this question. If you've understood this, let us move on to the next question, that is question number 6. Let us move on to the next question, that is question number 6. Now, question number 6 says the total present age of A, B and the total present ages of A, B, C and D is 96 years. Then what is B's present age? Now, this is a part of your data sufficiency. This is a part of your data sufficiency. Okay, so we have to determine if it is possible for us to make use of the information contained in the first and the second statements to answer this particular question, that is what is B's present age. So from the question itself, what are we able to determine? The total age of the 4 individuals, that is A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 96 years. The total of the present ages of A plus B plus C and D is 96 years. From the first statement, which says the average age of A, B and D is 20 years. What does this mean? From the first statement, A plus B plus D divided by 3 is equal to 20. Therefore, A plus B plus D is equal to 60. From the second statement, what do we have? We have C plus D divided by 2 is equal to 25 years. It says the average age of C and D is what? It is 25 years. Therefore, C plus D divided by 2 is 25, or I can say C plus D is equal to 50. What are we supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out the value of B's percentage. So let us see if it is possible. So let me substitute C plus D as 50 over here. So we have A plus B plus 50 is equal to 96. Therefore, A plus B is equal to 96 minus 50, which is equal to 46. Which is equal to 46. We now have A plus B is equal to, A plus B plus D is equal to 60. Now what if I substitute A plus B in this equation? This is your first equation, this is your second, this is your third. So now I'm going to substitute, now this is our fourth, A plus B is 46. I'm going to now substitute A plus B as 46 in the second equation. So what do we get? We get 46 plus D is equal to 60. Therefore D is what? 60 minus 46. It is nothing but 60 minus 46. It is 14 years. It is 14 years. Therefore, the age of D is what? It is 14 years. If the age of D is 14 years, what is C's age? C is nothing but 50 minus 14. 50 minus 14, 50 minus 10 is 40. 40 minus 4 is 36. Therefore, the age of C is 36. So, we are able to determine the age of C and we are able to determine the age of D. However, from this it is not possible for us to determine the age of B. We are able to determine the age of both A and B, but only B or only A is not possible from the information which is contained over here. You can try whatever you want, whatever relation you want. This is the limit. The only way it is, the only answer that we are able to find is the age of C and D, not B or A. Therefore, the information contained in statement 1 and statement 2 is actually insufficient. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Both 1 and 2 information contained in both 1 and 2 statements are actually insufficient for us. So now let us move on to the next question. That is question number 7. Question number 7. So, what does question number 7 say? Question number 7 says the average salary of all the workers in a workshop is rupees 8,000. The average salary of 7 technicians is rupees 12,000 and the average salary of the rest is rupees 6,000. The total number of workers in the workshop is what? What is the total number of workers in the workshop? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let let n be the total number of employees. Let n be the total number of employees, or let me just write this. Okay. Let n be the total number of employees. Let n be the total number of employees. I'm going to say let S be the total salary. Let S be the total salary of all the employees. That is, let S be the total salary of n employees, meaning all the employees. Also, we have the average salary of technicians. So I'm going to say let T be the total salary. Let T be the total salary of the 7 technicians. So these are the annotation that I'm going to assume for this particular question. Now, if the question says the average salary of all the workers in a workshop is rupees 8,000. What does this mean? What is the total salary? S. When you divide the total salary by the total number of employees, that is n, that is when we get the average salary of all the workers, which is rupees 8,000. Now, the question goes on to say the average salary of the 7 technicians is 12,000. What is the total salary of the 7 technicians? I am assuming it to be T. Then, can I say T divided by 7, because it is 7 technicians, the average salary of the technicians will be 12,000. It will be 12,000. The question further says the average salary of the rest of the employees is rupees 6,000. See, total salary and total employees, their average salary is 8,000. If you only take the technicians, that is 7, their average salary is 12,000. So the rest of the employees, that is non-technicians, their salaries average is 6,000. So if you want the total salary of the non-technicians, how can you get the total salary of the non-technicians? It is nothing but you have to subtract the total salary of the technicians from the total salary of all the employees. That is nothing but S minus T. In order to get the average of the rest of the employees, we have to take the number of non-technicians. How do we get the number of non-technicians? Nothing but total number of workers minus 7, that is number of technicians. We'll get the rest of the employees whose average salary is nothing but rupees 6,000. Now what is the question asking for? Question is asking for total number of workers, that is we have to determine the value of n. We have to determine the value of n. So if we have to determine the value of n, what we will do is we will substitute s. What do we substitute s as? We will substitute s as 8,000 n. Similarly, we will substitute t as what? We will substitute t as 12,000 into 7 in this particular relationship over here. So we have s as 8,000 n minus 12,000 into 7 is equal to, now I'm going to take this to the right hand side, n into 6,000 is what? It is 6,000 n minus 7 into 6,000. So in this particular relation or equation, what I will do is I will take 6,000 n to the left hand side. I will take 12,000 into 7 to the right hand side. So what do we get? We get 8,000 n minus 6,000 n is equal to 12,000 into 7. So what I will do is I will write 12,000 into 7 as 14 into 6,000, so that I can take 6,000 common out. I'm going to write 12,000 into 7 as 14 into 6,000. You'll get the same thing. See, 12 is what? Nothing but 6 into 2. I'm going to multiply that 2 into 7. 14 into 6,000 minus 7 into 6,000. 8,000 n minus 6,000 n is 2,000 n, which is equal to, I take 6,000 common out, 14 minus 7. All the zeros get cancelled. 2 3s are 6. What are we left with? N is equal to 3 into 14 minus 7, that is nothing but 7 itself. Therefore n is equal to 7 3s are 21. The total number of employees in the workshop is 21. The correct answer is 21, option B. If you want the rest of the employees, not 21 minus 7, that is 14. That is 14. Therefore the correct answer is 21. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 8. Question number 8. Now, question number 8 says the average weight of 16 boys in a class. The average weight of 16 boys in a class is nothing but 50.25 kgs, and that of the remaining 8 boys is 45.15 kgs. So find the average weight. Find the average weight of all the boys in the class. Now, if you want the average weight of all the boys in the class, then what do? You want the total weight. You want the total weight of all the boys. Then you will divide it by the total number of boys. That is when you get the total average. That is when you get the total average. Now, in order for us to get the total weight, how do you get the total weight? See here, the average weight of 16 boys. Average weight of 16 boys is what? The weight of 16 boys is what? 50.25. And the weight of 8 boys, average weight of 8 boys is what? It is nothing but 45.15. What is total weight? Total weight is nothing but weight of 16 boys plus weight of 8 boys. So what do we get here? We have W16 plus W8, that is weight of 16 boys plus weight of 8 boys, divided by the total number of boys, that is 6 by 18. So what is W16? W16 is nothing but 50.25 into 16. Let me just erase this. Okay, so 50.25 into 16 plus 8 into 45.15, that is W8, that is nothing but 8 into 45.15. This divided by total number of boys, that is nothing but 24. Now this is a particular type of question which I want you to know. This is a type of question where which includes a lot of calculations. Now generally you do not get such questions. Generally you do not get questions where you have to do a lot of manual questions. It is all based on understanding. Okay, so this type of question where you have more of calculations, such questions you do not get. However, let me just solve this particular question so that even if you do get, you should be able to. I'm not saying you'll not be able to do this, because there's nothing but calculations. You have to add, you have to multiply, and you have to divide to get the ultimate answer. So here it is nothing but pure calculation, which is pure mathematics. So here we have to now multiply 50.25 by 16. We have to multiply 16. Okay, so what do we get here? We have 6 5s are 30 over here, 6 2s are 12, it is 15, 6 0 0, 6 5s are again 30. Okay, so we have 5 2 0 and 5. So 0, 5 plus 5 10, we have 4 0, 5 plus 3 8, 2 decimal points, so it is 804. So what do we get here? We get, let me write it here, 804 plus 8 into 45.15. 45.15 into 8. What do you get? 8 5s are 40, 8 1s are 8, plus 4 is 12, 8 5s are 40, 41, 8 4s are 32, 32 plus 4 is 36. Okay, 2 decimal points, so it is here. So we get 361.2 divided by 24. So when we add this, what do you get? You get decimal point 2, 4 plus 1 as 5, then 6, 8 plus 3 is 11. So now you have 11,065.2 divided by 24, or I'm going to write it as 11,060, 11,006, sorry, 1,000, you have 1165.2. I'm going to write it as 11,652 divided by 24. So now you have no option but to divide if you want the average weight of all the boys. Okay, so this is not 24, this is actually 240. Now I'm assuming, see, most of this, even though you do have calculations, even though you have a lot of calculations which are actually involved, it is not too much of calculations. So I'm hoping that it should be divisible by 12 at least. It should be divisible by 12 at least, because 240, 24 is divisible by 12. So what I will do is, I will take 11, 6, 5, 2 and I will divide it by 12. I will divide it by 12. So 11 is not divisible. So 12 tens is 120. So I'll take 12 nines. 12 nines is nothing but 108. 16 8 is 8. We have 85. So 85, 12 5 is 66, 72. 12 sevens. 12 sevens, we have 84. One remainder, 12. Of course, 12 ones are 12. It is 0. So 12 971s is 11,652. 12 20s is 240. So what are we left with? We are left with 971 divided by 21. So now we'll divide it by 2. 2 4s are 8. 1 carry 7. 2 8s are 16. 1 2 5s are 10. 1 we'll get 1 5s are 10. And 0, therefore I have this decimal point have to be moved here. Therefore When you divide 971 divided by 20, what do you get? You get 48.55. Therefore, the correct answer, or the average weight of all the boys in the class is what? It is 48.55 kgs. The correct option is option C. The correct answer is 48.55. The correct option is 48.55 kgs. So there are 3 practice questions over here again. So with this particular video, or with this particular session, we are ending our discussion on problems based on ages. So do try and solve these 3 questions over here. So if you do have any doubts, please do write to us in the comment section. The solution for the 3 practice problems will be posted in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, do follow us for more such videos. In the coming videos, we'll take up different topics for CSAT or for your KPSC exams. Thank you.